Sorry, I'm sweating.
Okay. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Gertie Mac Show. But before we get started, if y'all don't mind, would you please like and share this video? And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I drop another video. Now let's talk about Indiana Fever, Christie Sides, and CaitlincLark. Look here, people. Accountability has jumped into the transfer portal. Now let's talk about Indiana Fever head coach Christie Sides. Look here, people. Accountability has jumped into the transfer portal. Let's go. So CaitlincLark and Indiana Fever went to Dallas and got served like divorce papers. Dallas Wings beat them 101-93. Now toward the end of the game, it did become a little exciting. They was going back and forth, but CaitlincLark, Indiana Fever, Christie Sides, the team, they just could not hold up and they just couldn't get a stop. Now, even though CaitlincLark is still breaking records and all kind of stuff, stat leader, she had 24 points, 19 assists. She is making history, but individual accolades and accomplishments don't win games. And to be honest with you, I feel like CaitlincLark, she appreciates all the love that she is getting about her breaking records and doing this and doing this. But I think she'll prefer to have the win more than anything, because she can get all these goals and all these awards and all these assists. But what does it matter when the team gets an L? CaitlincLark clearly is frustrated with losing. Even though she done lost twice in college for the women's championship, she still just has that winning bone in her body, and she wants to win. She expressed in a post-game interview yesterday that she's frustrated, especially with losing against teams that they feel like they should have beat. Washington Mystics and the Dallas Wings. Now, just because the team are not good, because Dallas Wings were like 5-15 or something, and Washington Mystics wasn't that great. They winning against teams that are good, number one, and good records, but they're losing against teams that are bad. So, Christie Sides did her post-game interview, and she responded to CaitlincLark saying that she was frustrated. And she talked about some other things as well. And people just feel like Christie Sides is just not the coach for CaitlincLark, Indiana Fever, none of that. Y'all check out what Christie Sides had to say about CaitlincLark being frustrated. Check this video out.
I think turnovers, when you give up 28 points off turnovers, you take all that away. You take all that away. And then we just have to be better defensively, especially to start. We gave up 27 in the first and second quarters. I mean, that's just, we just have to be better with that. But to me, it's the turnovers. 28 points off our turnovers. Just don't give yourself a shot.
What was the message at halftime about the defense? Because you went out on a 17-9 run, I think it was, in the third quarter.
Yeah, I feel like the third quarter was by far our best quarter. We can't have so many of just one quarters or two quarters. Like you gotta string 3.5, 4 quarters together. We had 93 points. When you score 93 points, like you give yourself a chance to win the game. And then when we go back and watch, you're going to see so many wide open shots that we missed. And that, that's just, we've just got to get in the gym and work and make sure that we're able to hit those wide open shots. AB, 28 points in the paint. I mean, we had 63 points in the paint. But we have to get stops. I mean, that bottom line, you've got to get stops. You've got to play defense in this league. They hit 3 big threes late in the game. JC Sheldon had 2. One was off us in a red situation, and then she had another one when we didn't do what we were supposed to do on a side pick and roll, and then Odyssey had one that bounced all around and fell in. So they just hit big shots late. We played defense late, but they just hit some big shots.
Matt, you want to go first, and then we'll finish with George?
Yeah, hi, Christie. Caitlin was saying that it can be frustrating to have, 4 wins against upper half teams and then 2 losses against lower half teams. I guess just kind of what's your stance on that as you head into the break, maybe not being able to capitalize on, the lower end of the table.
Yeah, we always try to focus on us, right? Like in those 2 games, we just weren't who we were in those other games against top teams. And it doesn't matter who you're playing night in or night out. Like, you've got to show up and play your game. And we, the Washington game, we didn't do that. The first 3 quarters tonight, first half, didn't do it. Came out in the third, had a really good quarter in the third, and then just couldn't finish in the fourth. But that's just growing, getting these experiences, and knowing you've got to play 40 minutes of basketball on both ends.
So before I get my commentary on Christie Sides, let me just say this. I understand that players can make mistakes also, but there's a reason why there's players and there's a coach. At the end of the day, the coach is the one who is responsible for correcting things, especially if you see that it's off. Now, for the past 3 weeks, we all have seen that Indiana Fever has some things that need to be adjusted and addressed. In each post-game interview, Christie Sides, when they lose, she points out the things over and over again. So the thing about it, it doesn't appear that she is making the adjustments. She putting some of the same players on the floor that are not good defenders, and they shouldn't be out there. Your team is a fast-paced team. Caitlinclark does a good job with the 1-2 connection with Aaliyah Boston. She does a good job point guard running the point and running the plays. Keep the ball in her hands. I mean, Caitlinclark and Aaliyah Boston can't win these games by themselves. And then with the thing about Caitlinclark being frustrated, y'all have to put yourself in a position to win. And yes, just because a team is not a good team don't mean anything. And you say that y'all wasn't yourself in the other games, but what is your identity? You are the coach. What is the identity of the team? Because it appears as though you do not know the identity. You got to figure these things out. The players can't coach themselves, but to fans and everybody else, it appears that they are doing that. And you have to address these things. Now, understand that all this is new. All this spotlight is new. But you have to adjust and realize what y'all have in front of y'all. Because if you don't adjust, then there's going to be some changes. But y'all get in the comments and tell what y'all think. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share this video, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I drop another video. And don't forget to follow my social media at GertieMac15. Holla.